Hi, I'm Jenna. I'm going to show you how to easily paint the grooves in Shiplap. In my bathroom addition in my attic, I made Shiplap and I put it up on the walls without finishing it first. The reason I did this was because I was spraying the whole bathroom anyway, and when you spray paint on Shiplap, it's really easy to get into the grooves. The majority of the bathroom is white, however I have this accent wall and this little section as well as a couple really small sections that I decided to go black with. Because it was such a small area, I wasn't going to tape everything else off just so I could spray that. So I painted this by hand, and now the part that I have to do yet is paint in between the grooves. My gap is only 1/8 of an inch, so that doesn't allow much space to easily get in there. So I'm going to show you today how to make that process just a little bit simpler. For supplies, I'm going to use a dental irrigation syringe, a small paintbrush that's small enough to fit in the grooves. This one is just one of my kids' paintbrushes they had laying around, as well as a nice paintbrush that we'll use to clean up any of the excess paint that comes out of the grooves. If your Shiplap has spacing larger than 1/8 of an inch, you could try using a Q-tip to fit in there. Now, this doesn't fit in 1/8 inch. It would probably fit in 1/4 inch. If not, you can just pull off some of the cotton and make it smaller, and then it'll fit in there a little bit easier. Or you could try a makeup wedge, just a nice foam sponge, and you can find these at the Dollar Tree. Now, I could kind of fit it in there, like I could push it in there, but it wasn't easy to run along that gap. But if you have a bigger gap, it might work okay. So that's something you could try if you don't want to try a paintbrush. So to start, I'm going to show you what we're using the syringe for. We are going to use the syringe to apply the paint. It'll be much faster than applying it with just the brush alone, because we'd have to re-dip our brush over and over and over. So this will make that process of getting the paint in the grooves much, much quicker. This is really the trick to speeding up the process, because it is a tedious process. And this will make it easier, but you're still gonna need patience. So you're just gonna put the tip into the paint and slowly pull up on the syringe. Now the paint is thick and the end of this syringe is very small, so you just have to be patient as it comes into the syringe. All right, and we are ready to get started. You can see the little bits of white from the primer in the grooves to start. So what we're gonna do is just put the end of the syringe all the way to the back and then gently squeeze out some paint, and you want the paint to be touching the back of the groove. So just go along and keep gently putting paint in there. You don't want to squeeze too much paint, otherwise what will happen is when you go to brush it, it's all going to squeeze out to the front of the Shiplap. Now I'm going to take my brush, put it in there, and I want the brush to be touching the back of the groove. Now I'm going to spread that paint out. Now this will get the back really well. So the next step is you want to tip it up so you can get the top part of that groove. And then you also want to tip it down to get the bottom. And that will give you full coverage. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you squeeze too much paint. Okay, you can see the paint bubble in there. So I put this in here, and the paint drips out the front. Now you don't want to leave that dry, or you're going to have a bump in your finish. So just grab your nice brush, and you're going to smooth that out. And there you go, that will dry and you won't even know that it's there. it's as simple as that. It will still take patience, but it's gonna go a lot smoother than if you didn't use a syringe at all. Now, let's say when your shiplap was first installed, you finished the edges or you pre-finished the boards. And now what if you want to change the color of your shiplap? This is going to be a really great method because you're not going to uninstall all of your boards and put them back up just so you can paint the edges. So, I hope this method helps you whether you just put new shiplap up or you are refinishing shiplap you already have in your house. Thanks for watching, and go do that project you've been nervous to start.